Hello friends, welcome to Lukman IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 20th May 2021. Let us see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the articles related to our mains examination syllabus as well as some of the articles related to our prelims related syllabus, and in the end some COVID-19 related developments, Cyclone Totai related developments, some practice prelims MCQs and important captions and quotations from today's articles. Let us take an overview first of all these articles. Yes, first article, interpretations which impede a just social order. The context of the article is recently the 5-judge bench of Supreme Court which gave verdict regarding Maratha reservation for the Maratha community in Maharashtra. So, what this particular verdict is talking about and the critical analysis of this outcome of this verdict, especially related to polity part GS2 paper, we are going to take input here. Next, a collage of laws that leaves the worker out in the cold. The context of the article, it is critically analyzing the Social Security Code 2020 last year enacted by the Parliament. So, this is very important, especially related to social justice part GS2 paper, because we are seeing the kind of impact of on the laborers which are especially working in the informal economy because of COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown in different states, right. Third one, scrap new privacy policy, center tells WhatsApp. Yes, we have to understand this because this is in news since last 5 to 6 months. This new privacy policy of WhatsApp company, or we can say that WhatsApp, a social media platform of Facebook company. So, why the central government has told or raised some concerns regarding privacy of the citizens or individuals which are using these social media platforms, we have to understand that from the polity as well as governance GS2 paper. Now, specifically prelims related developments, center raises subsidy on DAP fertilizers, no hike for farmers. So, this is the decision taken after the meeting by Prime Minister regarding increased prices of some of the subsidies for the prices of the fertilizers that raised concerns the impact on the farmers. So, yes, we have to understand what is this subsidy given to the subsidy on the fertilizers given to the farmers, at the same time which are the other items on which the government of India gives subsidy. This can be asked in prelims examination. Then 6 UNESCO heritage site added in the tentative list of India. What are these 6 sites? We have to understand them and take input for our prelims examination art and culture perspective. Yes, DD International to present India's story. So, yes, the context here is that the similar kind of, let us say, we know that there is BBC World, that is news agency is there. On the similar line, DD International kind of we can say television channel that is to present India's story, that means the view of government of India at world stage. So, this is we have to understand from miscellaneous part, polity part also, we will try to understand what is this particular news. And in the end, some COVID-19 related developments, Cyclone Totai related developments, daily prelims MCQs that we are going to solve here, and important captions and quotations from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, let us go into details of all these articles. First article, interpretations which impede a just social order. The context of the article is the Supreme Court judgment on Maratha reservation. Okay, so 5-judge bench which gave this particular verdict. The outcome of the verdict, let us try to understand 3 important aspects of this verdict. First is that the court found the Maratha community not as a socially and educationally backward class. Okay, first thing. Second thing is that court found such kind of reservation system was exceeding the 50% cap that was put by Supreme Court earlier in Indra Sahni case in 1992. Okay. So yes, the law was a breach of rule previously set by court disallowing reservation made in excess of 50% of total available positions. So that means this particular capping of 50% was provided in Indira Sahni case. Then the court held that state government had no independent power to declare a group as backward class, and this is the sole domain of the central government. Okay, this is the new interpretation of the 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act 2018 and its provisions. Okay, and now there are some concerns raised on the outcome of this Supreme Court judgment. What are these concerns? Let us try to understand the concept of reservation itself first. Yes, reservation is provided by providing certain provisions in the constitutional articles like Article 15 clause 4 first thing and Article 16 clause 4, which provides for the affirmative actions towards weaker sections of society. This provides for reservation by the government to these vulnerable weaker sections of society. That means the idea that reservation ought to be restricted 50% does not stem from constitution. There is no explicit provisions in these articles, Article 15 clause 4 or Article 16 clause 4, which provides for reservation or affirmative actions by the government of India. This is specifically talking about in public employment, reservation in public employment, and this is talking about the reservation in the educational institutions of the central government. Okay, educational institutions under central government. So such kind of reservation affirmative actions are provided in these two articles. However, this 50% quota, this provision is not explicitly mentioned in the constitution. That means it does not stem from the constitutional provisions. However, subsequently the Supreme Court had interpreted these provisions. For example, in N.M. Thomas versus State of Kerala 1975, 7-judge bench had said that the program of reservation was inherent in the Constitution's basic guarantee of equal treatment. Okay, this is the interpretation of Supreme Court, and affirmative action by the state was compelled by the objective of attaining substantive equality. Now we can understand that achieving substantive equality requires affirmative action by the state, and from time to time different kind of affirmative actions have been taken by the government to bring the substantive equality in the country. However, in future 9-bench judge in Indira Sahni versus Union of India 1992, which is famously also known as Mandal case, In this particular case, yes, Supreme Court reaffirmed this particular vision, constitutional vision of substantive equality in the earlier case of N.M. Thomas. On the other hand, reservation made in excess of 50%, barring exceptional circumstances, was harmful to that very vision or constitutional vision. That means in this Indira Sahni case, the Supreme Court has explicitly said that yes, the affirmative action is required. However, this excess reservation of 50% quota is against the constitutional vision of achieving this substantive equality. Okay, so we have to understand the explicit and implicitness of this judgment here. Now let us try to also understand that whatever the backward classes list are made at present, they were being made at central government separately by National Commission of Backward Classes, that was established in 1993 through National Commission of Backward Classes Act 1993. Earlier it was statutory body, and at state level, regional commissions at state level, they provided a separate list, and that's why there was some kind of overlapping as well as some backward classes which were provided by the regional commissions at state level were not included at national level. So there was incongruency in the different list here. For example, 25 different groups categorized as backward in Tamil Nadu do not find place in central list. You can give such data fact in support of your argument. However, this is not the case with the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Since inception of our constitution, whatever the names of these caste categories are provided for SCs and STs, they are solely given by the central government. State government does not have any say in that. Now this is to some extent earlier was not in line with the backward classes. Now the Supreme Court has interpreted this 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act in line with this we can say National Commission for SCs and STs, or the provisions related to SCs and STs and their list. Okay, so there is some kind of uniformity created in these three categories: OBCs, backward classes and SCs and STs, right. 102nd Amendment Act 2018, which forms the basis for court's ruling, granted constitutional status to this National Commission for Backward Classes. Under the new article number 338B was included in the constitution, which provides the constitutional status for this National Commission for Backward Classes. Other two such commissions are there. Under article 338 there is National Commission for SCs, and then there is article 338A which provides for National Commission for STs, right. Now it also introduced article 342A, through which it stipulated that President of India may, after consultation with the state government, notify groups of persons within a state who are deemed to be socially and educationally backward. That means it specifically says that President is the authority to provide such list and not state government. However, President, after having the consultation with state government, notify the such list. At the same time, the central list which is notified could only be altered by the parliament and not a state government or state legislature. This is also specifically mentioned in the article in the constitution, right. So yes, to some extent it affects the state's ability to ensure social justice. Up till now we have seen that backward classes were categorized by different states in different manner, and yes, reservations were provided. However, to some extent now there is some kind of, let's say, removal of this power to the state governments. It affects the federal nature of our Indian polity. Therefore, the changes as interpreted by the court directly impede the ability of the states to secure just social order, right. So yes, union government has already filed a petition to review the judgment as it limits the power of state governments, and if suppose in future court denies to review such kind of or refuses the plea, it is imperative that parliament amends the constitution again and grant to the states an express power to determine backwardness of some of the categories or backward classes. Okay, so to some extent there is some kind of grey area created by this 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Though central government in the parliament has said that there will not be any let's say impact on the powers of state governments to decide on the backward classes. However, this particular interpretation by Supreme Court makes it very much clear that state governments are not having power to decide backwardness of these classes. Okay, so yes, there is need to have review of this judgment, or if the Supreme Court denies to review, then the parliament should amend this act. Yes, what kind of question we can expect here? Critically analyze the Supreme Court judgment in Maratha reservation case. So you need to be aware about the outcome of this judgment and analysis of the outcome of judgment. Just now we discuss about this. Fine. Moving on to next article. National Commission for, yes, some basic information for prelims examination from the same article. National Commission for Backward Classes. Yes, just now we talked about this, that earlier Indira Sani case or Mandal case in 1992 had provided, or the outcome of that particular judgment, it directed the central government to form the National Commission for Backward Classes to dedicatedly examine the complaints of inclusion and exclusion errors in the list of backward classes citizens. And accordingly, the parliament enacted law, that is National Commission for Backward Classes Act 1993. Accordingly, such kind of body, statutory body was established. Later on, recently in 2018, 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act was enacted, and this provided separately a constitutional status to this body, National Commission for Backward Classes, under Article 338B. Under Article 338B. Okay. Now, the composition of this particular body, yes, it is similar to other National Commission for SCs and STs. Same way, here there is a chairperson, then there is vice chairperson, and there are 3 members. There are 3 other members. All of the 5 are appointed by the president by warrant under his hand and seal, and the service conditions for all of them are determined by the president, not by the parliament, not by the central government. They are decided by the president. At the same time, the central government and the state governments are required to consult this commission on all major policy matters affecting socially and educationally backward classes. This is, we can say that, the powers of this National Commission for Backward Classes, and the important function of this commission is that to inquire into or examine the complaints of inclusion and exclusion of errors in the list of this backward classes. At the same time, it enjoys the power of civil court, right. So, all these aspects are in the same manner like National Commission for STs and SCs. Fine. Yes, this is important for prelims examination. Now, moving on to next article, a collage of laws that leaves the workers out in the cold. The context of the article, it is talking about the Social Security Code 2020 that was enacted by the Parliament last year. Yes, Social Security Code. Why there is need of social security, or let us say social safety net, for expansion of the social safety net for the informal workers working in the informal economy. This is very important, looking at the backdrop of this COVID-19 pandemic that is going on in the country, and the lockdowns which is impacting the income insecurity of these people, or let us say workers working in the informal sector. That is why it is we have to understand the importance of social security. Let us try to understand what are the issues involved in this Social Security Code 2020. According to this Social Security Code 2020, to avail the social security benefits, an informal worker must register herself on specified online portal to be developed by the central government. However, yes, with the existing such a state security scheme, social security scheme, a similar kind of mechanism is already in place. However, it has not been able to expand the cover of social security, and many such workers are outside of this social security net. There is lack of awareness among the informal workers regarding social security schemes. This is the major problem, and that is why bringing such a nature of let us say online registration, which is a further challenge to most informal workers lacking digital literacy and connectivity. We can understand that this is the same case that we are facing because of this CoWIN platform, online platform for registration of vaccination. Many people, especially poor people, both in urban and rural areas, which are digitally illiterate, and the connectivity, internet connectivity is poor. At present, it is around only 50% penetration in India, and because of that, what is happening, what we are facing is the exclusion of this section. Then informal workers also find it difficult to furnish all documents as they are working not in one place for long time, they are continuously shifting from one place to other place, and that's why it makes very difficult for them to bring all the documents and furnish them for registration process online. Then unorganized workers are spread across the length and breadth of India. Interstate arrangement and cooperation becomes imperative to ensure social securities to them, and such kind of arrangements are not available, made available in this Social Security Code 2020. These are the issues. Along with that, the major benefits like maternity benefit under Social Security Code, the provision of maternity benefit has not been made universal. This maternity benefit is provided to all the establishments which are having the employee of 10 or more such workers, and the definition of establishment does not cover the unorganized sector, and that's why we can understand that at present about 90% and more workers are working in the informal sector, unorganized sector, and this is to some extent negating the social safety net. Then employees provident fund, this EPF is still at present for benefits to only organized and formal sector employees and not informal sector employees. The employers could have been made to own up responsibilities of providing social security to their workers, but this is missed opportunity in this Social Security Code 2020. Employers are actually benefiting from the productivity of the workers. They should be held responsible to some extent along with the state responsible for providing the social security. However, no such measures have been undertaken in the Social Security Code 2020. These are the issues faced in ensuring universal social security to all the employees, and we can expect such question in social justice part GS2 paper. The impact of COVID-19 pandemic on informal workers or informal sector emphasizes the importance of universal social security. In this respect, critically analyze the Social Security Code 2020. Right. So we can expect such question. Try to answer such kind of question. Take input directly from this article. Fine. Okay. Next. Scrap new privacy policy. Central government tells WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a social media platform owned by Facebook company, and it recently came up with this privacy policy of WhatsApp, and then yes, there was huge uproar over this privacy policy as to some extent it raised concern regarding the privacy of the individual, and from time to time even Supreme Court has said that right to privacy is the fundamental right of the Indian citizens, individuals in the country under Article 21, okay, so of Indian Constitution. At the same time, whatever the directives that have been given by the ministry of Union Ministry here, it has said that there are some, let's say, provisions in this new policy which violated several provisions of Indian laws. Along with that, the changes introduced by WhatsApp in this privacy policy undermine the sacrosanct values of information privacy, data security and user choice for Indian users, and harms rights and interest of Indian citizens. This is the wording. You can use this directly in the examination when the question in the governance part, GS2 paper, we can expect such kind of question, because such privacy policy, then data privacy law, we are, let's say, witnessing all the problems here. At the same time, some of the fundamental rights like freedom of speech and expression under Article 19. Along with that, we have to understand right to privacy is interpreted as the important part of right to life with dignity, or we can say personal liberty under Article 21. Okay, so all these aspects. Along with that, the IT law, IT Act 2000, which has been then subsequently amended in 2008. This is the important and sole law which deals with all the cyber related, let's say, crimes or aspects. Along with that, social media related aspects are also dealt by this particular law. Okay, so as a follow-up to that development, you can be aware about such directive by the central government. Now, specifically prelims related, center raises subsidy on DAP fertilizers and no hike for farmers. Okay, yes, recently it was in news because yes, major fertilizer companies in the country had raised the prices of the fertilizers. Yes, diammonium phosphate, DAP. This is very important fertilizer for the farmers for the input, and therefore now central government has enhanced the subsidy on this fertilizer to retain the selling price for farmers at current level of 1200 rupees per bag, following a review meeting on fertilizer prices chaired by Prime Minister on 19th May. There are actually international rise in the prices of phosphoric acid and ammonia used for DAP, that has increased to 60 to 70%, and therefore the actual price of DAP bag is now 2400. The government has said this. Okay, that means almost 50% of fertilizer subsidy is provided by the government for this DAP fertilizer. Okay, so we have to also understand that the government of India provide majority of subsidies on the following items. First, fertilizer, food. These two aspects, fertilizers and food, considers or let's say consist of major part of the subsidy bill that government provides. Then there is also kerosene and LPG in fuel sector. In fuel subsidy part, kerosene and LPG for domestic purpose only. So all the LPG cylinders and kerosene, the subsidy is provided by the central government. And recently by the present government, the petroleum and diesel subsidy have been delinked by the government, and now they are decided by the market mechanism of demand and supply. Therefore, at present the government does not provide subsidy for petroleum and diesel products. Okay. Yes. So we can expect question on in the prelims regarding this basic question. 6 UNESCO heritage sites added in India. Yes, this tentative list. 6 out of 9 sites submitted by Archaeological Survey of India have been accepted by UNESCO for inclusion in the tentative list, which is the requirement before the final nomination of any site. Which are these 6 sites? Ganga Ghats in Varanasi, temples of Kanchipuram, Satpura Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh, Maratha military architecture in Maharashtra, Hire Bengal megalithic site in Karnataka, then Beda Ghat, Lameta Ghat in Narmada Valley in Madhya Pradesh. These are 6 sites. With addition of these 6 sites, UNESCO has 48 proposals in the tentative list of India. Okay, so you need to be aware about these 6 sites. There can be question in prelims like recently UNESCO had added 6 sites in the tentative list of India, then which among the following is or is not among these 6 sites? We can expect such kind of question. So remember this is factual information, right? And lastly is from the miscellaneous part or polity part, DD International to present India's story. Basically, this is the proposal by Prasar Bharati. Yes, state broadcast Doordarshan is planning to set up new channel DD International to project India's point of view to the world. There is a floating of expression of interest seeking application for consultancy services. Basically, the idea is to build a global presence for Doordarshan and to establish an international voice for India. So just be aware that such kind of proposal is there by Doordarshan, DD International. Fine? Okay. COVID-19 related development, yes. Now Ministry of Health, Union Ministry of Health has come up with the advisory that vaccination should be deferred by 3 months after recovery in the individuals having lab test proven SARS-CoV-19 illness. That is, those who have been infected, yes, their vaccination should be deferred by 3 months. Then Health Ministry also recommended COVID-19 vaccination for all nursing mothers also. Yes, it is not talking about the pregnant women, but it is talking about the nursing women. Rajasthan government recently declared the mucormycosis or black fungus disease, which is primarily affecting people recovered from COVID-19. It is declared as epidemic and notified disease under Rajasthan Epidemic Act 2020. So this is the first state to declare this as epidemic. Cyclone Tatai follow-up. 26 bodies have been recovered and 49 still missing from the barge P305, which sank 35 nautical miles off Mumbai coast due to Cyclone Tatai. There are 3 construction barges of Afcon's company working on the project of ONGC. One drilling rig of ONGC deployed for exploration purpose in the Bombay High off the coast of Mumbai. We know that Bombay High is one of the important crude oil and natural gas site, exploration site off coast. We can say that reserves are there. So this was impacted recently by Cyclone Tatai. Prime Minister, who conducted an aerial survey of areas hit by cyclone in Gujarat on 19th May, approved assistance of 1000 crore for immediate relief activities in state of Gujarat. He also announced ex gratia 2 lakh rupees for kin of those killed due to cyclone in all affected states. Okay. So yes, in the Hindu analysis of 16th May 2021, we discussed everything about tropical cyclone. There is the news coming up that the new cyclone is being intensified in Bay of Bengal. We will have follow up in the coming lectures regarding that development also. Okay. Some important practice prelims MCQs that on daily basis we are providing. Yes, such kind of question can be asked on the subsidies provided by the central government and National Commission for Backward Classes, the provisions of the. You can download this document in the description link of this video on YouTube. Along with that, we are providing a detailed explanation of answers and explanation for these MCQs on our Telegram channel on the daily basis. At the same time, we are also providing daily current affairs and links of all these videos on those Telegram channel. So join that Telegram channel of Lukman IAS at the same time to receive the notification of these videos on daily basis. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lukman IAS YouTube channel. Okay, so yes, some important captions and quotations from other articles also, like opaque decision making leads to loss of trust in governance and social discord. Such kind of question statement can be framed by UPSC, right? So yes, there is need of transparency in decision making, especially during the policy formation and decision making for COVID-19, that the central government is lacking some kind of transparency here. It creates loss of trust in the governance and social discord, right? So it is important part of ethics in governance also. GS4 paper, you can use this in essay paper, GS2 paper also. Leaving the vaccination policy to market forces is neither ethical nor practical. We have discussed this issue, that's the vaccination policy of the central government, issue of equitable distribution and access to this COVID-19 vaccines. So you can use such statement. Governments are elected to represent the will of the people. Yes, anything that is related to democracy, you can use this in essay paper also. In a civilized society, when the life-saving resource is in short supply, the government must take it upon itself to both enhance the supply and formulate the policy to allocate the resource. This is very basic. You can use this in, we are talking about this vaccination policy. You should use this in GS2 paper, governance part, the social justice part, and then in ethics paper also and in essay paper also. Okay, fine. Yes, so yes, these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, as the UPC has postponed the prelims examination to 10th October 2021, many of you may be thinking about improving upon the writing skill, especially improving upon some of the let's say unique part of our mains examination like GS4 paper. Many people find it very difficult to write down the ethics questions and answer to those questions. For them, Lukman IAS has devised this unique kind of specific related to ethics paper, GS4 test series. To know about more about this particular test series, you can contact Lukman IAS. Thank you.